On.
"15 seconds to launch." "Places, please. 5 seconds."
Adjust your mojo.
You are about to participate in a great adventure.
Now.
At age, 60? He's just gonna break bad?
Radio with an attitude.
This system that we love is broken.
I know that.
Do not comply.
Hey, mother.
Welcome to another 2 hours of common sense.
That liberty and justice for all is a myth.
And erratic behavior.
You want to, but you can't. And when you do, you wish you didn't.
This is your Daily Mojo.
It is unclear from the account why Tafakula's anus shone like the sun.
Okay.
We should probably dig into that just a little bit more, just so it's not, completely out of context. You see, Tafakula is it's technically a volcano. It's a volcano in Tonga. And there you see it right there. And I'm going to guess that because they call it the Shining Anus Volcano.
Shining Anus.
Like,
okay.
Mm-hmm. And you want to know what I think it was?
Why is that?
Because of the lake there in the caldera. So if you're looking at that from above,
and the
sun is
reflection
glinting off of that
would be a shiny anus.
And in that case, that right there, can you imagine the bidet it would take to clean that? That is a 2022 satellite photo of smoke arising from the caldera on Tofua, the looming threat of the volcano island. It's in Tongan mythology, there were a couple of reasons why they decided to call it the Shining Anus. 3 deities from Samoa, Tuvu, Vata, Sisi, probably Sisi, and Fenga conspired to steal Tofua, which was the whole island there. So they came and they tore up the high mountain by its very roots, and in its place, the big caldera. When you stop and think about how these origin stories came about, and then you could start considering giants. I'm just saying, it could be the giants came and ripped the whole top of the mountain off. This really pissed off the Tongan gods. One of them, Tafakula, decided to stop the thieves. He stood on the island of Luahako, bent over so as to show his anus.
Nice.
It shone so brightly that the Samoan deities were struck with fear, thinking that the sun was rising and that their dastardly works were about to be revealed. Hence, they dropped the mountain close to Tofua and fled to Samoa. The mountain became the island of Kau. Can you imagine that story being told generation to generation? He bent over and his anus shone like the sun. And they were in awe. They were shocked and in awe by the sight of his. They thought it was the sun coming up.
I need to get a mirror.
Remember, if you go out into the sun and lay there with your
anus,
you're supposed to really soak up some vitamin D. Isn't it vitamin D you're supposed to get when you do that?
I guess maybe that's a sensitive area. It soaks it up faster.
It's perineum sunning.
Okay.
Goes by other clever names, according to AI. Clever names such as butthole sunning, yoni sunning, or genital sunbathing.
Yoni.
Yoni.
Okay.
Proponents of the practice believe a mere 30 seconds of sunlight on the perineum supercharges your organs, regulates hormone functions, improves cognitive function, and has similar benefits to being in the sun all day with your clothes on. And yet, for some reason, we are all... is it reticent? Is that the word I'm looking for? To talk about Uranus. Not the planet, but your anus. I pretty much guarantee there is no other radio program on the face of the planet.
I agree.
that just opened up the program with talk of a shiny anus.
Shiny anus. I'm feeling an Insider
That's what
Club
makes us
after
special.
hours kind of video. That's what I'm thinking.
You going to do one?
No, you are.
Why me?
Because I'm going to run the
You
camera.
thought of it.
Yeah.
Wow, if you wanted to be a voyeur, just say so.
We're going to do
Would
a
have
little
been-
Yoni after hours.
Wow. I suppose you could. So if you would like to be, and who wouldn't want to be a part of this program at this point in time, use the hashtag What I Learned Today on any of the social medias. And don't forget, if you're watching, listening, wherever you are doing what you're doing and interacting with us here on the Daily Mojo, hit a like button.
Please. Yeah.
I mean, it's not, it doesn't take that much time. It's really not that much effort. And I know it is absolutely cliche and it's exhausting. But just do it. Just do it. Nobody gets hurt.
We'd appreciate it.
We would appreciate it.
We love you a long time.
Ron will absolutely. He'll come over and give you a foot rub. Just like Warren left us a note on the Spreaker player. He said, "I like your AI music."
I saw that yesterday, and I thought, wow, there
thank
is
you,
somebody
Warren.
out there.
That likes AI. That is, I got all kinds of grief for playing the Daily Mojo song yesterday.
Did you really?
I did.
That's like one
All
of our
kinds
new
of grief
bumpers.
from
Come on.
program directors.
Oh.
I mean, what the hell do program directors know? And here's the problem with program directors. They get all bent out of shape. They hyper focus in on one thing, and then that's all. It's all they ever go after you after. Your AI music. It's always something. But see, that's the beauty of it, because then they hyper focus on the AI music, and you can open up talking about shiny anuses all day long. They'll be whatever.
Leave you alone about
Works.
the shiny butts.
Works for us. In other news, there is a short but deep
Anus.
recession coming.
Oh.
Why does everything have to be about a butthole to you? This is from USAWatchdog.com, and it's the Ed Dowd of Finance Technologies did a report called The Danger of Deep Worldwide Recession in 2025. And here's why it's probably going to happen, because the economy has seemed to be in okie dokie shape the last, 3-4 years. We were constantly told by the binder and by the rest of the Biden administration that everything was just fabulous. Jobs were being added every month, even though they would then later go in and, amend those down. That GDP, and we even mentioned here on this program, GDP, one of the biggest reason probably GDP was up is because government spending was also included in the GDP, which is ridiculous when you stop and think about it. But what really was going on and why the economy seemed to be okay was because of these enormous amounts of money that the government was pumping into the economy or into these NGOs, EIOs, et cetera. $115 billion so far is what Dogie has uncovered. So this Ed Dowd of Finance Technologies, and it's finance with a PH, like fat.
Okay.
He says the Dogie revelations are mind-shocking. There's a clear way in which government was spending through NGOs and people taking kickbacks and profits along the way is going to come out. There may have been theft along the way. What business does Stacey Abrams have getting $2 billion for an NGO? It doesn't make any sense. It's going to be shocking, even shocking to me, he said. I knew there was rot in the system, but the mind-blowing way the NGOs were used to facilitate the illegal immigration just blows my mind. That was the other reason, aside from the voting blocks, that they were letting all these people in, because it was a way to spend money at every step of their journey into the United States. All of these NGOs that were either giving them clothes or money or phones, whatever it was. The 10 million plus illegals that came in over the last 4 years You just don't wake up one day in Central America, he said, and say, I'm going to go to the Darien Gap, I'm going to go to the Mexican border, and then I'm going to meander my way into the interior of the United States without a tremendous amount of aid along the way. And that's what was happening. The NGOs facilitated that, probably took their cut. He said that was the all-in economic cost of the goodies that they got once they got here. He's questioning how much was that. Plus, the NGO spent and what the government spent themselves to facilitate this, it's not hard to imagine $50,000 to $100,000 all-in cost per illegal. And think about that. If there were 10 million illegals, which I think is on the low side, and it was $100,000 per, what's that? Is that 10 billion?
Could be.
100 times. Let's see, you add 10 million, you'd add the 3 zeros at the end, that'd be 10 billion. And then 100 to the 10 to 10 times. That could be $1 trillion. That's a lot of zeros. But you know what? The bottom line is, it doesn't really matter if it's a billion or trillion. That's a lot of money per illegal alien. This is the all-in cost up and down the entire economic food chain. It was anywhere between $500 billion to $1.5 trillion, depending on the illegals. It was an illegal project funded purposely, and it was very logistical. It was not something that just happened overnight. So it wasn't just about getting these people into the country to be Democrat voters. It was about propping up the economy, which is really weird when I say weird. Not so much weird as it was, it's eye-opening to what extent that these people in government were willing to destroy everything just to keep you and well, not you necessarily, but the low information voters out there, just to keep them thinking that everything was fine. We did not, how much talk did we see about the deficit? None. And it was never really covered on to any degree. The mainstream media was too busy talking about how Trump's a rapist and how, he paid Stormy Daniels, whatever the hell he paid her, to keep her mouth shut. Mm-hmm. Very ironically. And no one cared. But it was salacious. And people love a good salacious story. People also love a hottie. We'll get to that. And Ron, I think the thumbnail for the program today, genius, because the hottie being the sun.
Uh-huh. I had to guess.
I see what you did there. That's the way I like it.
I had to guess at it because I wasn't sure where you were going with it.
No one ever is. Hell, I'm not.
When you search for images of hotties, the sun is not what you get.
Let's just have a look-see. Don't take it just yet because we don't know what's going to come up.
Well, I know what's going to come up.
No, you don't.
Huh. I told you.
You can tell there's nothing.
That's what you get.
Egregious
when you search hottie.
Wow, they're right. They are hot. Huh. I don't even know what that means. Huh. Anyway, back to the economy, because we'd much rather talk about the economy than hotties, wouldn't we? Anyhow, the result, according to Dowd, was that the U.S. economy was propped up when it should have tanked. And that's how in the hell has a country that is $37 trillion in debt? Let's be conservative and say $36 trillion in debt. What's $1 trillion amongst friends? How has it not crashed and burned? I mean, it has to. Not that this is something that any of us think about on a daily basis, because most of us are just trying to figure out what the hell's going to be for dinner, and good grief, I have to get up early and go to work. I got to get the kids to school, and the mortgage is due, and I don't have it on automatic draft because I don't know if I'm going to have enough money in my account, blah, blah, blah. We don't stop and think. It's funny that we think about things like that, but the government's like, F it. Who cares if we don't have enough money in the checking account to pay the bill?
Yeah.
Because they don't have to. They just keep right on going. And they're so invested in trying to get reelected every year that they are willing to literally destroy the country and the economy. Because, hell, they got theirs. You get yours, sucker. So the big problem, again, ironically, is that when Doge uncovers all of this waste, fraud, and abuse, and it starts to go away, it's not just that the people who are no longer going to be getting their kickbacks and their little side gig money in the government. It's not just because that's going away. What's going to happen is this, and again, I hope he's right when he said it's going to be short but deep, this recession that will hit. I don't think there's any avoiding it. How do you avoid it at this point? Because all this money is going to stop flowing into the economy. And one of the first things he said is that the housing market's going to take a hit. It has to correct at some point. I mean, who the hell can afford the prices on homes? I mean, if you didn't already live in your house, would you be able to afford to buy it today?
No, not at all. No, as a matter of fact, if we sold our house, we couldn't buy one half this size.
Right. Well, it's the catch-22, unless you're willing, which I'm not opposed to a trailer by the river, but others here at the motel might be. Sissies. But I mean, you sell your home for, $1 bazillion. Where do you go? It's you're between a rock and a hard spot. So the economy was propped up. There's just really no other option than for this thing to at least take a temporary hit. According to him, the housing market was on fragile ground during the last year or so. It was held up by illegal immigrants supporting rent prices. So as that whole machine unwinds and the illegals aren't propping up rent prices, he says he thinks there'll be a mini 2008-2009 housing issue. Housing prices are going to come down, and that is the big driver of consumption in the economy. It needs to happen because home affordability is off the charts. So just be ready for it. I mean, that's the takeaway in the whole thing. Be ready for what's coming. Because it's
coming.
There's not really, it's coming. There's not really a way to avoid it, I don't think. I don't know what you do. There's a story which, according to Citizen Free Press, is a bunch of malarkey. And here's the weird, it's in the Financial Times, which I know you wait every day to get your copy of the Financial Times as it's folded up on your porch. But according to the Financial Times, wealthy Americans are now looking once again to Swiss banks to protect themselves from, the headline says, from Donald Trump. Private bankers and investment managers report large increase in clients wanting to shift assets to Switzerland. Here's again, just do a little digging, just scratch a little bit below the surface. Kind of like that NPR story. Did you see the NPR story that, and the only reason I saw it was somebody on Facebook had posted that it's no longer going to be required in government contracts that you not discriminate. Hang on a second. Go ahead and get off that there so I don't flash the world.
Okay.
NPR, sorry, contracts discrimination. Because this is one of those discrimination. Whites only job posting. Where the hell was that? Thank you. Pause. Segregated. All right. In any event, it was a story on NPR about the fact that government contracts no longer going to require that you be non-discriminatory, and it came along with a picture that said white drinking fountain one way and colored drinking fountain the other way, implying, of course, that you could now have separate water facilities for the whites and the darkies in your business, and you would be able to get away with that because Trump. And Republicans, because Trump, just pretty much because Trump. And so I looked at the story, I read it, and down buried in the story on NPR was, except, businesses are still going to have to comply with the whole Civil Rights Act of 1964, blah, blah, blah. So essentially the headline meant nothing.
No, but it was provocative.
It was provocative, and people were just losing their ever-loving minds responding to the person who posted this, who I've known for a long time. And, other than that, she's sensical. But I did clip that little snippet, and I said, just to be clear, this is in the body of the story. And she's like, oh, okay, I'll fact check. Okay.
You didn't do that already? Thanks.
So... I mean, and the whole post was about, well, I just feel like if I don't say something now, I'm complicit in all of this. But kind of with the Financial Times story, the same thing. The NPR story could be the circular logic, much like Jeffy talking about Snow White reviews on Saturday Morning Live. And it was in Variety, the movie has been hailed as, one of the best in blah, 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 referring to their own review of the movie. So they become their own source. And the same thing with the Financial Times piece. If you dig on this wealthy Americans seek refuge from Donald Trump in Swiss banks, and you see, whoa, look at all these stories that talk about this. And then you look to see where they all come from, and they all come from the same source. So it's just, when it looks like there's a bazillion reports out there of something, they all come from the same place. And that's what the mainstream media is so good at. And it really doesn't take that much time to look and figure out what they're doing. So I don't know if people are going back to Swiss banks or not. Remember, there was a time that I say everybody, but you knew about Swiss banks being, that's where you put your assets to protect. And I don't even know why that was. Was it because they wouldn't report? I think they were, but they report now, don't they?
I have no idea. I don't have any money in a Swiss bank, so I couldn't tell you.
Oh, you got rid of yours?
Come on. I wish I had a Swiss bank account.
I wish you had a Swiss bank account, too. But
my wife probably does.
Story.
But...
And she's smart, and she's not telling you about it. Can't say that I blame her. But just do a little digging below the surface. And these things are not all that hard to discover. But be prepared for that. The whole mini recession, the deep and, was it deep but long? Or short but deep? Whatever the hell it was, it sounded like sex. Just be prepared for it. How do you be prepared? Beats the shit out of me. Do I look like a financial planner to you? I'm like the crappiest financial planner to ever walk the face of the planet. Just a second here. I did ask the question yesterday on Twitter.
Yep.
Formerly known as X. Or something like that. Who this person was.
Yeah, that's the Miss America
Hottie, huh?
bandit or whatever.
Please.
I don't know. I don't know who it is.
You just said who it was.
Oh.
Jumba shibba jumma. Hamazi. Zibba. Don't you want to surprise some people?
She is a hottie. I have to give her that.
Yeah, she is. Anyway, we'll find out who she is in a second. Let's see. Checking in over on the Rumble chat room over here. Hang on a second. Where'd my mouse go? There it is. Rumble chat room. Wade Robertson. Californians are fags. Okay. I tell you. What? Wombat Mommy. Well, Jody, you better get on that corner. Comments out of context.
That sounds provocative too.
Doesn't it, though? I think that's actually what she's talking about. Wade Robertson, yeah, I definitely couldn't afford to buy another house if I sold mine. We do have a shitload of equity, though.
That's a good thing, except the equity doesn't take you that far these days.
Right. And you can't take it out. I mean, you could.
Yeah. You're going to pay taxes on it.
Right. It's almost like the system that we have is designed to keep you from ever getting rich.
Your money, yes. Yeah, we talked about selling the house and buying like an RV.
Well, why not?
You could.
Why didn't you?
We haven't yet.
Why didn't you? Jaguar just didn't even sell the house, just bought the RV.
Oh.
He bought the, what was it, the Winnebago, and then they sold it like 7 months. It had all kinds of problems. Because you can't buy a damn, it's made in America, right?
Yeah.
I hate to say this,
Dude,
but
some
it's
RVs cost as much as my house does.
Oh, this was 6 figures easily.
Oh, wow.
I know, right? But then you got, even you buy the RV and you've got to put it somewhere.
That's the problem that we've got right now because we can't park it in our...
upmybutt.com.
Yeah,
you can't keep it there.
You can find a lot of answers there, but you can't. Yeah.
But you can't put it.
That's correct.
Up your butt. Best you can hope for is to die in your sleep. That's it. Right? Curtis says 40 eggs. Missy 13, hey, my ADHD was kicking in. On what? Squirrel. A decent RV costs more than a house, as Florida man in Alabama. Yeah, it does. It sure does. Over on the Kick. J. Reed Jr., chicken fact of the day. Chickens can identify 100 different faces, chicken or human. That's a cool fact.
How do you figure that out?
I know that.
Who's done the research there? Was that USAID? Somebody over there was researching chicken faces.
Does it have to do with their pecker?
Oh, I see what you did.
I'll bet it does. The mariachi band's in early today. That's good. Happy 9th wedding anniversary to my beautiful wife, Emily.
Well, happy anniversary, Emily, and whoever that was that posted.
That was Jay Reed.
Hey, Jay Reed, happy anniversary.
Feet? What's that say, feet?
Well, you're going to dig into it? Okay.
I'm not going to dig into feet pics. Nope. I'm not going to do that. And over in the Daily MoJo chat room, frankly speaking, finally got to join the revolution over here. He's been in the Daily MoJo chat room before, right? Fake Zoe says the people with the most money have never not used Swiss banks. LOL. True.
That makes sense.
Oh, Cougs in Payne still says you got to say that with a French accent, the snotty one. Say what? Provocateur. The provocateur.
Now you just sound like the Merovingian.
The mayor of who?
The Merovingian. You got me all screwed up, man. The Merovingian.
Did you have a stroke?
No, I can't. Now I can't say the word.
I don't even know what the word is.
It's from The Matrix.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
Before we get to Hottie McHotterson over there, because I do want to.
Yeah.
You're gonna be surprised, or not. Doesn't really matter if you are or not. Hang on a second. Where did I put that thing? Where did I stick that thing? Is this it here? Yes, it is.
There it is.
There it is. I wanted to play this because, again, we are very pleased to be partnering with Pentel Less Lethal Protection. They are an official dealer of Byrna Technologies, because somebody yesterday posted in the chat.
Yeah.
It was like, well, is it a Byrna knockoff? No, it's not a Byrna knockoff. It's a Byrna.
It's a Byrna.
It's a damn Byrna. What do you think?
Just because we have a distributor, it doesn't mean it's a knockoff.
Right.
No.
It's a reseller. Pentel Less Lethal Protection is the distributor of the Byrna technologies. I have to say it. As you can imagine, there's legal schniz surrounding stuff like this because people freak the hell out. So we have to be careful how we say it. I mean, it's not technically it's not a gun.
It's a launcher.
It's a launcher.
Launcher. Yeah.
Right. And I know it's semantics, but words matter. But these things are bad to the bone. We did not shoot us camera shoot. We didn't shoot us shooting the fence, which I'm going to do today.
You need to. Yeah.
So we'll
put your little target or
watch
something on the fence.
One of the ex-wives.
It doesn't matter. It won't kill them. It'll just
bear?
hurt them real bad.
A bear or an ex-wife?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't really matter though, does it? This is the they call it the ungun. Just take a look at this for a second.
Introducing the Ungun, the non-lethal self-defense platform. Lightweight and simple to use. It uses an easy-to-load 5-round magazine and is powered by an 8-gram CO2 cartridge. Byrna launchers fire a 68 caliber chemical-filled projectile using a patented pull-pierce technology where the CO2 canister is only punctured on the first trigger pull, meaning your launcher is always at the ready. It's capable of incapacitating an attacker for over 30 minutes and is accurate and effective at over 60 feet. It requires no permits, no background checks, and is interstate travel friendly. With Byrna, you will be prepared to defend.
I just got this note from Ross. The Byrna cannot sell to New York, and this will tell you everything you need to know about where you shouldn't be living. New York City, Brooklyn, the Bronx, Staten Island, Queens, Manhattan, Washington, D.C., San Francisco, and Hawaii.
Yeah, Byrna won't ship them there. That's correct.
When did Hawaii go retard? They've always been liberal.
A little bit. Yep.
A little bit. Which, you know, if you want to get back at them, in a beautiful place. I love Hawaii. If you want to get back at them when if you ever go there and you're in a taxi or something, and you're like, well, that's cool. Say, yeah, we have stuff like that back in the United States.
Yeah.
They hate that.
Just because it's federally legal in all 50 states doesn't mean that the state doesn't have requirements. So,
which is fine. That gives you the opportunity to go where, live where you want to live. Yeah. I did discover that and again, these powered by the little CO2 cartridges, the green ones, the Eco-Kinetic.
Oh yeah,
they do dissolve in water.
Oh, they do in the pool.
Yes, they do. I went to go fish one out of the pool at the motel, and it was just like a little green cloud. And so you got those, and you got the little practice.
Yeah, the little practice balls. Are those the training ones? Yeah, because the
everybody needs practice training balls, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't want a good practice ball? All I'm saying.
The training projectiles, and then the other one is the kinetic projectiles. These don't explode. They just hurt like a bitch when they hit you. So,
I take back the whole wanting to get hit with one just for the experience.
This is the one you don't want to get hit with. This one, of course, is the chemical irritant,
pepper spray.
Max intensity tear gas and pepper balls. Now, you were going to talk yesterday about how
That's weird. That was my nickname in high school.
Pepper balls.
Pepper balls.
You were going to talk about how to load the magazine appropriately.
I said I would do it later.
Oh, okay. Well, today's
Not
later.
Prepared to do that.
Okay.
Today is later. You want to explain it? Go ahead.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, so your magazine only holds 5 rounds, 5 of the little balls. And Ross said that the best way to do this is to load 3 of the pepper balls first and then 2 of the kinetic rounds right behind it. So basically, you get their attention first, and if that doesn't stop them, you hit them with the pepper balls. That will stop them.
And you don't even need to score a direct hit on the with the pepper balls.
Yeah, he said anywhere
right next to them, and that dust is going to kick. It's not going to be a good day for them. And the idea here is that it's non-lethal. I mean, again, put somebody's eye out, but it gives you a chance to get the hell away.
Yeah,
and be safe to save your own life. So. If
this is the perfect road rage, not for you to go
ahead and explain that one.
Not for you to go on the offense, but defensively, this is the perfect road rage. Somebody walks up to your vehicle, I'm going to pop them with an eco-kinetic round. Get away from my vehicle, dumbass. And if that doesn't work, I might hit them with a pepper ball. Now go try to drive your vehicle, stupid. Hey, man, it is what it is.
It certainly is, Ollie. If you would like more information, go to protectmymojo.com. Protectmymojo.com. It's easy to remember. And how do we decide that they're going to get Ross's phone number?
I don't know yet. I need to ask him that question.
We're going to have Ross on the program tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning,
who is the man behind, I have to say it right, Pentel Less Lethal Protection, the official dealer of Burnett Technologies. But we'll have him on the program tomorrow. We'll talk about this in further depth. Not My Dog says optimum shot placement is right in the middle of the chest, so Cloud is right in the nose. Yep.
There you go.
That's the rule of thumb for a regular, a standard weapon. Right there, center mass. And Missy 13 says, "Yes, I need to protect my mojo." Yes, you do. This is the perfect for somebody like Missy.
We're about 15 minutes behind making the hole. I'm just saying.
Wow. Some people's kids. ProtectMyMojo.com.
The Daily MoJo, making mornings bright with Brad and Ron. They keep it funky tight. News, laughs, and the moves that feel so right. It's the Daily MoJo, keeping the world in sight.
The Daily MoJo.
I see you got that out of the way early.
Oh no, it wasn't that. No, not it wasn't that.
It wasn't that one. Okay.
No. It was the longer one, the longer version.
I got you.
So, but you know what I say? They can all kiss a good man's ass. So this lovely, smiling, beautiful, locked up Miss America. Her name is Lily Stewart. She's an Alpha Chi Omega sorority member at the University of Georgia. This is her mugshot because she was pulled over twice in a matter of minutes. Let's see, March 8th, a couple of weeks ago, for speeding in excess of maximum limits. So she is a rule breaker. She is a lawless rule breaker.
Yep.
Right. If she was ugly, you'd be all over this and just be condemning the hell out of her. According to the Georgia State Police, they shared with Fox News Digital, the officer first pulled her over for going 79 in a 55. That's fast. She was issued a citation, and about 2 minutes later, she was pulled over again. In her 2021 Volvo XC40. She was going even faster at this point. She was 84 in a 55. And so the cop is like, well, given the excessive speed and the recent citation, I decided I'm going to pull her over again. He stopped the vehicle. He instructed her to exit and placed her under arrest, explaining the reason for the arrest. The arrest of Ms. Stewart was necessary to mitigate, and he's right, to mitigate the immediate danger posed by her reckless driving. Removing her from the roadway served to prevent further violations and potential accidents, ensuring the safety of other motorists. I mean, 80 into 55, 84 into 55. That's pretty fast, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty fast. So when they posted her mugshot, and I don't know if it's just like standard SOP for them, to post mugshots of people that they arrest immediately, whatever it is. The responses to her mugshot were, the only crime here is stealing my heart. Another one said, I don't care what she did. She's innocent. I don't know what she did, but free her, somebody else said. Several people even offered to pay her bail. I'll bail her out. What's her booking number? Her bond was posted before she got to the jail, another one said. What's her bond? I'll bail her out. And it is, somebody else wrote, they done locked up Miss America.
Yep.
Let me show you the other pictures of Miss Thang here. Let's see, we go over this way. Here's another of her. This is from her Instagram. There's one here. I mean, could she be any cuter? Right? Here's another of her Instagram pictures. Right?
Yeah.
It's called you know what this is called? You know what the bias is called, right? It's the halo effect.
Really?
It's the halo effect. The halo effect is
she looks innocent.
Well, no, people are. We say it all the time here. It's like the teachers that get popped for boffing their students. If they're hot, they're going to get off, even if they're not hot. You know what I'm saying? I think you do, right? Hey! But if they're hot, people are more like, this time, slap on the wrist. The halo effect is a cognitive bias where people's overall impression of a person based on a singular characteristic like attractiveness influences their perception of other qualities. Studies have shown that attractive people are often perceived as more likable, competent, trustworthy, even when they haven't done anything to earn those perceptions. That MFer is not real. She might be as dumb as a potato. I've never spoken with her. What's her name? Tiffany Gomas. God.
Tiffany Gomas, yeah.
I pulled that one out of the shining anus, didn't I? And the other, what's her name?
You got to give him that Hawk Tua.
Oh, the Hawk Tua girl.
Haley Welch.
Yeah.
Haley, thank you.
You're on a roll today, dude.
Now, the control room just gave me that one, so I appreciate that. The director in the control room. Research suggests that women are more likely to tolerate misbehavior from attractive men. Men are less likely to forgive their partner's bad behavior if they meet an attractive, available woman.
Available being the key word.
I'm just going to say, one never knows. I'm going to also say this. See her? You want to know about her?
Marissa Simonetti? Yeah, I want to know about
Simonetti.
Yeah.
I got an email from her.
Did you really?
I did. You want to know what she said?
I do, actually.
I'll tell you coming up after Phil Bell and his morning update.
This is Phil Bell on the Daily MoJo with your morning update. Yesterday I talked about why we need to stop giving airtime to crazy liberal Democrats and all of their ridiculous antics. Today, I've got to talk about something even more important, and that is the need for the Republican Congress to get itself in gear. Now, you might think back all the way to 2016. We won an amazing victory with President Trump. We had Republicans in control of the U.S. House and the U.S. Senate, and there was so much enthusiasm and momentum. And what happened? Nothing. That Congress did nothing because it wasn't prepared to lead, and what's more, so many of the people in leadership didn't like President Trump. Now, this time, things are a lot different. We have a Congress that makes much more sense. President Trump is leading an amazing administration. And oh, by the way, the American people are saying time and time again that they not only like our agenda, but they love our agenda, and they want to see as much of it as possible put into law. There is no reason that right now the U.S. Congress should not be working day after day after day to get this done. And I completely understand that it is going to be relatively difficult with such a small majority in the U.S. House and a group of Republican U.S. senators that have a lot of different viewpoints. But the one thing that we can all be clear on is that we are continuing to talk about the same things that we were under President Reagan, under President Bush, both President Bushes, and now with President Trump. The government must be small. The government must be accountable. The government must tax as little as possible and spend as little as possible. And no matter what, no matter how difficult it is, no matter how painful it is, we must fulfill that vision. Congress, get in gear and get the job done. Now, to everybody out here in this audience, I want you to leave a message under the show. Let Congress know what you think and what you want them to do and when you want them to get started. Because the more they hear from you, the more likely they are to take action. Now, I also want you to download the Daily MoJo smartphone app and enable notifications. That way you'll be up to date on the latest craziness and good stuff coming out of Washington, D.C., and you'll know how to share it with others. We'll see you down the line, and thanks for choosing the Daily MoJo.
Phil Bell's morning update is only on the Daily MoJo.com. Where political correctness comes to die. The Daily MoJo.
Sir Rat Bastard wants to know how Miss Thang looks in orange. Did I see what message?
Check your messages.
You mean my
yeah,
my text?
Text.
Let's see here. My texticism.
Yeah.
Need to get by Dan. He has to leave by 8:45. All right, so we'll get Dan in there early.
Yeah. Thank you.
Right on. Thank you to the control room.
Yep, you're welcome.
Appreciate that. Let's see. Wade Robertson's like, I missed it. What did she do? It doesn't matter, Wade. It doesn't matter what she did.
Nobody gives a damn, brother.
All that matters is that she
looks like that. Oh, that's not her.
Yeah,
there she is.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, she's innocent. Whatever it is,
right, she's innocent. and whatever they're doing to her, it's just wrong. Now.
You could tell she's an influencer because she got in front of the camera.
Is she?
Well, look, I don't know
what she does.
I don't know whether she is or not. She can be now, but she got in front of the camera.
I don't know if she's an influencer. She should be. If she's not, she should be. See, you're doing it too.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Wombat Mommy says, you know damn well you better keep all sharp objects away from her. Right? Damn it with Beaver. So that's why that idiot that killed the CEO has so many girls wanting him. Yeah.
The halo effect, yeah.
The halo effect. Charles Manson, in the beginning, I mean, before, most of us recognize him from the later in life mug shots of, he's got the swastika carved into his forehead and all
which
that
likely
stuff.
happened in jail, yeah.
Yeah. And, but if you go back to the beginning, Charles Manson, not a bad looking guy. I'd even go so far as to say good looking guy. And don't forget, he didn't kill anybody, which is really weird. Ted Bundy.
Yeah, a lot of those guys ended up having pen pal girlfriends and wannabe wives and stuff like that. It's crazy how that happens.
It's really weird. Yeah, really strange. And Missy 13 says she's a retard to me. Excuse me. She's a retard to me.
Mm-hmm.
Original Babe says, I did have a guy writing me poetry in the defensive driving class, so not a complete waste.
There you go.
Women have it so freaking easy. Don't they?
I think it's boobs.
Of course it's boobs.
God, I'm going to be in so much trouble. I might not have to go down. I might not go downstairs after the show.
Is that a euphemism?
No.
Just checking. But it's humans we're fairly predictable that way. Let's see, Wombat Mommy. Dang, Phil is so hot under the collar, he's not wearing a hat. You people. Women are pervs. Right? See, over in the Daily Mojo chat room. Yes, frankly speaking, he put up another image of a Berna, and it's one of the kind of an AR style.
Oh, yeah, they do have those.
You'd be amazed. Go to protectmymojo.com, and you can find the different models. I mean, they don't just have the little handheld launchers like that.
The handgun style. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they have the...
they got some really badass looking ones, too. Fake Zoe says, that's not true, Phil. Trump got a lot done his first term. That's why they sicked the Rona on him. I think Phil's point was just to make sure that we keep a fire lit under these yutzes in Congress to keep the momentum going, because the other side is trying to slow walk everything that we have that's been accomplished. And if they are allowed to continue to do that, it's not going to be good. You may have heard this on the chewing the what's it called? Chewing the
fat. Chewing the fat. Yep.
Thank you. And John, who's the host? John?
No, that would be Jeff Fisher.
Jeff Fisher.
Yeah.
Jeff Fisher.
Yep.
Doesn't he go by Johnny or something like that?
I don't know. Johnny on the spot. I don't know.
I'm told Jeffy. He goes by Jeffy.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I heard about this first there. This is the Seyðisfjörður National Antarctic Expedition Research Base, sitting on that is in Antarctica. Does it look lonely?
Very.
Quite.
Yes, quite lonely.
Quite.
Although
although
standing on the edge of that, looking out, might be cool with your cup of coffee every morning, but
right until you fell over.
Yeah.
Although if you were out there on the edge of the cliff, you wouldn't have to go back in to face the South African team member who's being investigated for physical assault and sexual harassment. And these people, 9 of them, they are stuck in Antarctica for 13 months for climate research. And the allegations of the alleged sexual assault happened, I guess, within the past 2 weeks. And they are investigating, they say. The Environment Minister, Dion George, says a labor relations process is underway to tackle allegations of physical assault and sexual harassment, but says misreports of sexual assault have been corrected. In a statement last week, the minister said there were no incidents that required any of the 9 overwintering team members to be brought back to Cape Town, mainly because I don't think they can. I mean, you can, there's like a window of time that you can like land planes there.
Yeah.
And we ain't in one. The minister says the individual involved has shown accountability, is willingly engaging in further psychological evaluations, and is expressing remorse. Would that suck butt if you were down there and you realize, OMG, there is a psycho in our midst? Let's see, this matters deeply because other bases down there have halted their operations, aside from South Africa. They remain a vital hub for climate research because we're all going to die. You think there's alcohol involved? Do they have alcohol down there? Do they allow them to drink?
Vodka, maybe. I don't know. Something to
keep them
warm.
South Africans drink?
I don't know. We're looking at that photo. It would make me go, I need vodka.
Schnapps.
Yeah.
Schnapps. They've been down there since February 1st. One of the team members reported that another had physically assaulted and threatened to kill a colleague. Oy. Okay, which would be worse? They're saying the sexual assault part. No, that's not true. They were physically assaulted and this person threatened to kill a colleague. Which would be worse? a sexual assault or a threat to kill somebody? Which would you rather be stuck with?
As in, what would I rather be?
In other words, would you rather have the person that carried out the dirty deed here? Would you rather have them be a sexual deviant or a murderer? Because I know I'd be going with the sexual deviant thing.
That's the way I was leaning, but I wasn't even sure that was. I don't know.
Why would you? That's an easy one to me. I mean, the sexual deviancy, okay, it's not good, but I'd rather be stuck in a room with a sexual deviant than a murderer. I mean, you got a shot at walking out with a sexual deviant. You may walk out with a limp. But, with a murderer,
true,
chances of you getting out ain't so good. My opinion ought to be yours. So I got an email, and I need this is going to be a group effort here because I
saw this email yesterday. It came in yesterday. Yeah, I saw it.
It says, "Hi, Mojo, Brad."
Yep.
She's talking to me, not you.
She is. She's talking to you, but I saw it. It came into the info address. Yeah.
Were you reading my mail?
No. Well, somebody's got to, but no. You walked yourself into that, by the way.
Touche. I don't know why this one caught my eye, but
it caught my eye because I started clicking on the links. That was probably not a good idea.
Right? I know.
But you did too.
Yeah. Well, when you read the first line, "Hi, Mojo, Brad. I love laughing and being fairly lighthearted with the political scene." Because at first I thought it was just some phishing thing.
Yeah.
I
did
hey,
too.
Love your website.
Yep.
Love your website. And there's some things we would fantastic. We could do help promote and blah, blah, blah. And you realize you could say this about any website.
Yes.
Kind of not to get too far off the beaten path, but I tweeted it this morning. We got that other email from Pod SEO.
Yeah.
And it says, let me put this over here because I was like, really? Is that true? So we get this an email from Pod SEO that says, "Hey there, when listeners search for homophobia investigation on Apple Podcast or Spotify, the Daily MoJo with Brad Staggs appears as result 3. It does? I haven't tried it.
Is it something we said on the show, maybe?
Homophobia? I don't think I've ever... Homophobia investigation. We're also result number 7 for reasoned debate and number 8 for swarm theory. Do I know what swarm theory is? I don't know. Anyway, back to Marissa and her swarm theory. Maybe that's where they got it. She said, "I'd love to join you to have fun discussing current events. I made national news, and this is the sentence that got me.
Yeah.
I made national news in 2024 as the tarantula tosser, and my arrest made it on mugshotties.
Mugshotty.
What is mugshotty?
Shawty. SHAWTYS.
Right.
What is shawties? I don't know. Maybe it's a bunch of women mugshots. I don't know. Maybe she had the same kind of mugshot that Miss America did.
Well, no, wait. I just Googled it.
Oh, okay.
I found mugshotties.
Okay.
That was a toughie.
Show it to us. Is she on there?
Wait a second. This is the shop. Mugshotties Worldwide. It's a book that's for sale. Subscribe to our emails. So maybe, there's got to be more to the website than just a stupid book for sale, right? I would think. Maybe not. In any event, made mugshotties. We may or may not want to touch on that. Haha, psychology BA from University of Minnesota. Mother. Oh, she's also a mother. I didn't know she was calling me a mother. We recently, in a viral video, and just want to have fun, laugh, play, and do good.
Did you watch our viral video? I did.
You are such a whore. God, why do you objectify women this way? Of course I watched the viral video. She says, I was the conservative candidate in 2024 for Minnesota County Board and will be running for Minnesota statewide office in 2026. Was on 10 different podcasts last week. Can send links to those and other current podcasts. I'm like, here is her
Insta. No, that's her X profile.
X, formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah. She wearing a Doge shirt? She is.
No, that says EGOD.
Does it? It looks like it says Doge backwards. Maybe not. Okay.
Which
it does. Okay.
EGOD.
Doge. Yeah, so
EGOD.
she okay.
She what? You about to diss her?
No, I was looking at her shirt. Cause
bet you were.
Boobs.
You are such a slimy.
I'm not actually. Tarantula.
Then I saw this. Go ahead.
Tarantula tossing candidate for Hennepin County Board responds to questions about whether she worked as an escort.
Marissa Simonetti is unapologetic, embracing her newfound notoriety and dismissive of past fraud allegations. This was June 27th of last year. And yeah, she does have a, where's the, here it is. I believe this is the viral video to.
Can I get 1,000 of them?
1,000?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Do it. Where are we going to pull the trailer up to?
We're gonna bring it to the homeless shelter.
Aw, I
Yeah.
love that idea. That is so sweet.
Could we do that?
Yeah, they're going to love it.
I know they will.
Yeah, aw. Okay, let's go. Come on.
Okay, make as many pizzas as you can.
Okay.
Count, and then tell me how much I owe after, okay?
You got it.
Okay, sounds
All
good. Here you go, brother. We got a cheese for you. Here you go.
Sir, appreciate your pause.
Yep.
Thank you. Thanks, man. I appreciate you.
Of course, bro. Enjoy it. Okay. Enjoy it, big dog.
Thank you, Josh.
I got you, brother.
Yeah, enjoy. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Here you go, brother.
Yeah. All right.
Yep. Thank you. You're welcome. Oh, of course, bro.
Cheers. We're quick.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, cheers.
It's a lot of pizzas.
All right. How many pizzas did we make?
We did 48 pizzas.
Okay. Can I pay for them?
We got it. Don't worry about it.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah. No. Don't worry about it. We got it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, stop. Thank
Aw,
you.
yeah.
That was so nice.
Yeah, and see, viral video.
There you go.
Doing some good. Showing some cleavage.
Yep.
Let's be honest. And so anyway, do we have her as a guest on the program?
I haven't booked her yet.
I didn't. No, it's not. I'm just saying, should we have her as a guest on the program?
Sure. Let's see what she's got to say. You know, we're that kind of show.
I knew you were going to say yes. I'm not really asking you because, of course, you would say yes because you objectify women. And I want to say,
although my wife would probably agree with you, I objectify her every day.
Wade Robertson, there's a ton more fun to be had down there. Missy 13, I have hips. My hips don't lie either. Well, boobs have no points yet. We'll see. Topless and back. Is anybody going to actually answer the question as to whether or not we should have her as a? Somebody just give me that young lady has been objectified by a wonky eye. That's true.
What? Okay.
What?
It's not a lie. It's not a lie. But come on.
Jay Reed Jr. says hot chicks should just be spanked, not jailed. Do I disagree? I don't think I disagree. Do you disagree?
No, I don't.
I mean, I think that my jury's still out on that one. I mean, I don't know if they should be. Where did my mouse go? I've lost my mouse. I have to lick my finger. Hang on.
Licking your finger finds your mouse?
Tell me you've never tried that. Okay, seriously, where the hell did my mouse go? This is going to make things very awkward if I can't find my mouse.
Move it real fast.
I just did.
Oh, okay. That didn't work.
And then I moved my mouse
It didn't get
really
large.
fast.
Okay.
It didn't. I mean, it's the weirdest damn thing. Oh, there it is. All right, I found it. It just sometimes just disappears, and it bothers me. All right. I think we do it. I think we
call her up. Respond to her. Tell her, hell yeah, we'll have you on the show. Here's when and where. Do it.
Wow. Do it, Brad. Do it. Hi, Marissa. It's Brad. How are you?
We're game. Yeah, that's right.
I am fine. Things here at camp are interesting.
Wear the Doe shirt.
Want to come over for a play date?
Yeah, you're pushing it then.
Am I? You don't think she'd appreciate a play date?
She might. That might be the problem.
All I'm saying is that, in this world of craziness, you just have to be ready because we've proven that. You have to be ready for anything. Whether it's Marissa and she did get known as a tarantula tosser. Does that make you more or less interested when you hear she allegedly tossed a tarantula at a tenant?
I'm intrigued by the story. Yeah.
I know, right?
Absolutely.
You put tarantula in any story, it's like, oh, what's this? Let's have a look-see. Again, proving that life is strange, and sometimes you just have to go down those roads and find out what is at the end of it. Sometimes it's an oncoming train. Sometimes it's it's things that are even worse. The bottom line is this: make sure you're ready for anything by stopping at preparewithmojo50.com. Man, yeah, I slid that right in there.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right or am I right?
You're right.
Just go to preparewithmojo50. There's a special right now. You will get 4 free 72-hour food kits. That is 12 days of meals at no additional cost when you get the 4-week emergency food supply. And you're going to save $100. That's simple. Don't wait for things to hit the fan, as they say. Do it today. Be prepared for anything at preparewithmojo50.com.
If you're offended, you're listening wrong. The Daily Mojo.
Peekapool over on the X with some good advice. If you keep cheese on your desk, your mouse will never wander off. I hadn't really thought about that, but I bet it works. DMXDM, according to the documentary The Shining, cabin fever is definitely a thing. Oh, the Antarctic expedition. You see the Africans? Clock Tower Drunk says, get Pags on and have him tell you guys about his recent swatting. I saw that.
Yeah. I saw a clip of it. He was on Fox News, I think, talking about it.
I should, you know what? I'll reach out to Pags and see if he would like to. I have.
You know who else got swatted? Oh, well, besides, several people have.
Who?
Juanita Broderick, of all people. And it's just because she's mouthy on X, I think. You know who she is, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I follow her on X.
Yeah. Yeah, she got swatted herself.
Why are there not penalties? Why does it
I
seem
think there
like
are. They just got to find them.
Do they call from a payphone? Is that how they get away with it? I
don't know, buddy.
You can find people who were at the Capitol on January 6th, but you can't figure out who called in a threat like that.
Yeah.
Or whatever you want to call it. The idea when you get swatted, the idea is they call and they tell the cops that you've got like a hostage or something, right?
Right. Yeah, you're barricaded, and you've got hostages, and you've got weapons and all this other stuff, so they freaking break out the SWAT team.
And it's obviously not good. Hang on a second. I just saw this from Cheap Fake Tony. If I put this here and I stick that there, and we do this. Hold on a second. Why didn't it? Hold on. It didn't take it. My mouse is still not having the cheese. Okay. It says it's copied. We say we go over here and paste. And I'll be damned. Cheap Fake Tony did the investigation. He searched on, I guess, Apple Podcast. Homophobia investigation. And
Wow.
we do. We come up
3 and 4.
Third. 3 and 4.
Interesting.
So, okay. That's
wow,
the
both
Jesse,
of those.
Smollett.
Yeah, both of those are 2022 shows. Wow.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Well, you got to be known for something, right? So Pod SEO. It's a sales pitch. They want to know if we.
Yeah.
So if you don't think that keywords matter, although that wouldn't have been a keyword. That's the weird thing, is because they ask you to put your own keywords in, which keywords are weird, and they're sometimes a little tough to come up with. And sometimes I'll just have AI do it.
Mm-hmm.
And Backwoods Safety Man says, what the hell is swarm theory? Yeah, I have no idea. Squish, though, is right. It's wrong. It's Ron's fault. Yep. Jody 121, maybe you should start giving us a new definition of gay every day again. See if that changes anything, Bard. That's not a bad idea. Just saying. Where was I before I so rudely interrupted myself?
That's a good question.
The official program keeper-upper with the topic, Ron?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, good. Good for you. Until I remember, 23andMe is now filing for bankruptcy.
Ooh. Dude, I saw something come through yesterday that said, get your DNA off of there now.
Well, if in fact you can, which I have already started the process of doing.
I did my DNA through Ancestry.
I did too.
Oh, okay.
And not that again, it's out there. I don't believe that getting rid of your data on 23andMe, as this article at Tech Times will instruct you. But I'm just going to go through it just to see what the process is like. I have absolutely no delusions of this working to keep my data from being out, because it's out there, and I would bet. I mean, if somebody wants your DNA, there are ways to get your DNA.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? And I think you do. But I'm going to go through the process. You can download all of your DNA, or excuse me, all of your data from 23andMe when you go to their site. And once you request the download of everything, they say it takes like a month. What was the email that came back? It said something, it'll be like 30 days, and then we'll respond, and we'll give you the code to download it, and blah, blah, blah. And so this may or may not work. But if you got your stuff on 23andMe and you want to download it and or try to delete it, the Tech Times article will tell you how to do it. The co-founder and the most recent CEO, Ann Wojcicki, announced that the company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection, and she's leaving her post as the company's CEO during the process.
Okay.
To become an independent bidder for 23andMe, as it's now in the process of selling off its assets. What are 23andMe's assets?
That's a great question. Yeah.
Is it you and me? Are we their assets? I mean, I guess and what other assets would a company like that have? Servers? So it does give you the step-by-step on downloading and again, in theory, getting rid of it. I doubt it's going to work, but it might. It absolutely might. The pyramid thing, in the meantime, is certainly garnering a whole lot of attention.
Did y'all talk about that the other day?
A little bit, but not in great detail.
Yeah.
Because there's really, at this point, is there a lot to... It's hard to prove or disprove any of this. I mean, I've got, my theories. Is this legit? It's based on, I guess, some data that was collected in 2023 or in I think it was 2023. If you're not familiar, and this is from the Jerusalem Post, the researchers over in Egypt, and I think they're from the United States and Italy and Scotland, they claim that they've discovered 8 vertical cylinder-shaped structures extending almost half a mile into the earth below the Great Pyramids. And if this is true, which it may be, I mean, who the hell knows what's below the pyramids? And Egypt is, in Zahi Hawass, the guy who's in charge of the antiquities, Egyptian antiquities, is not the most forthcoming individual on the planet. He holds. I was going to say he holds information close to the vest, but there's something else going on there too. And if you look into his background, he was schooled here in the United States, but as part of the deal for his getting schooled here, it had something to do with allowing some researchers to get into the Sphinx. Can't remember the specific details, but if there was, let's say, a Hall of Records, as some ancient astronaut theorists have posited, if there is such a thing as a Hall of Records inside the Sphinx or underneath the Sphinx that, has fascinating information on aliens and how they may have seeded the life on this planet, etc., do you really think they're going to show it to us? I mean, we can't even get the straight scoop on who shot JFK.
Right.
We can't even get the straight skinny on Epstein. Do you really think that anything as earth-shattering as the information that may detail how life came to be here on the planet and had to do with, planet Wormgon and the alien Zibzod? Well, we have a picture right here. We have a recording of Zibzod right here from the planet Milron, and he tells you exactly, but they're not going to ever release that sort of stuff. But it's fun to think about, and there's strangely a lot of evidence that things aren't as they seem in Egypt. Now, the problem is, again, going back to the Egyptians and Zahi Hawass, they like the narrative that Egypt and the Egyptians built the pyramids. I'm not saying that they didn't, but I'm saying they that's their heritage. We built the pyramids. But what if they didn't build the pyramids? What if it was some other civilization, some far more ancient civilization that built the pyramids? And, later on, and of course it wasn't called Egypt, but, this band of people come along and hey, we own the place now. How come no one ever gives them shit? Who are their indigenous people? They are the indigenous people, Brett. Okay, just saying. But if it changed the whole lineage of who was where first and who built the pyramids, they're not going to go gently into that good night. But they used radar technology. The team was led by Corrado Malanga from the University of Pisa, and again, this thing is supposedly goes 6,500 feet down. That's over a mile. 5,280 feet is a mile. Why is 5,280 feet a mile, Ron?
I don't know.
Nobody
Nate.
knows.
Yeah.
No one knows. Why is a foot 12 inches? And of course, 0 will be no one knows.
No one knows.
No one knows. Nope, we don't. They used a combination of satellite data analysis and then this, what do they call it? SAR, synthetic aperture radar. That combines the satellite radar data and along with tiny vibrations from naturally occurring seismic movements. And what this creates is a 3D image of what lies below the surface without the need to actually dig stuff up. Wouldn't it be cool if, underneath the Sphinx, which I don't, a lot of people don't even realize that the Sphinx was carved out of the bedrock. It's like they didn't look at a big rock and go, "Oh, I see a Sphinx in that." And they dug the Sphinx. They dug out all the rock from around the Sphinx that wasn't the Sphinx. Kind of like when you ever heard a chainsaw wood carver talk? And I still remember this because I did a piece on a chainsaw wood carver.
I've got a friend who is a chainsaw wood carver.
And they how do you carve the bear out of this?
It's inside the wood already. Yeah.
And he says, I just take away everything that isn't the bear.
Yep. And that's exactly what he said. He's pretty good at it because he can do almost any animal or anything else out of wood. He's part of that Chisholm Trail Woodworkers Club. He's got a website or a Facebook page he posts all the time doing stuff like that. But that's exactly what he said. You just take away everything that's not the bear.
Which is a marvelous, if you can do that, it's fabulous. But they did, and they did the same thing with the Sphinx. Because it sits down in a pit, kind of. Because the land around it is, level with the Sphinx itself, I guess excluding the head. And the idea or the theory, call it a conspiracy theory, call it what you will, but the idea is that there is a room underneath the paws. I think it's the left paw.
Oh, yeah.
I think. Under the left paw of the Sphinx that contains detailed records of... yes?
Okay.
Yeah, before we get to Dan.
Because we'll do one for him.
What was I saying?
Prior to him or after him?
Yes. What was I just saying?
Okay. That there's a room underneath the paw.
Oh, room, yes, room, thank you. Room underneath the paw of the Sphinx that would contain all of the records of, what happened when and all of the secrets that we as humans would love to have the answers to. It's all written down. Just go over there to the shelf. It's right there on that book. And again, knowledge is power. So if that does exist, do you really think they ain't giving it up without a fight. But which is why it kind of puzzles me how this information got out there. But by the same token, you notice the pushback from people saying that's bogus. There's nothing to it, and this is old. This is old news. There's really nothing there, which is what you would do if you didn't want the information to get out. Again, we can't even figure out who the hell shot the president in the head 60 years ago, much less figure out what the hell is underneath the Phoenix from, take your pick, 2,000, 5,000, 20,000 years ago. Because that's the other argument, discussion, if you will, that the Sphinx and the pyramids could be 20, 30,000 years old. We really just don't know squat.
No.
When it comes right down to it, we really
and people 2,000 years from now, 3,000, 4,000 years from now won't know squat about us either. That's crazy.
You think that's true? Well,
they'll dig up a whole lot of blades from those wind turbines, and they'll go, "What the hell are these?"
Did they have
For giants.
then? The legends about the giants are true. We found their swords.
Yep.
Wouldn't surprise me. Oh, look. They got her again.
Yeah, that she got arrested again.
A third time?
A second time. That's the second.
Oh, no. We already talked about she got arrested twice.
Oh, maybe it is a third time then, because she got
We'll look
popped
into
for
it.
loitering.
More of the Daily Mojo in just a minute.
The Daily Mojo.
Wade Robertson on the X says, I think you need to play the video of Stonehenge being the giant stone man's toes. I might.
It's bleeped out.
Jody tweeted, huh?
I said it's bleeped out. You're good. Play it.
Hang on a minute. I got to remember where it is. I think it's over here, and then over here. I mean, this is pretty telling when it comes to, what everything really is. I mean, if you believe this sort of thing, maybe not safe for work, but I don't know. You decide.
If some theorists are correct, as many have posited, then what we are seeing is just the outer surface of a giant stone man buried deep within the earth. Only exposing the giant stone man's toes, which appear at Stonehenge, the giant stone man's head, which appears at Easter Island, and in Egypt, the pyramid at Giza reveals itself to be the giant stone man's cock.
I guess that's possible.
Yeah.
They did get her a third time.
They did.
Mugshot is obstruction of law enforcement officer.
Loitering and prowling.
Or prowling. What the hell is prowling? What is prowling?
Maybe she was looking in somebody's window or something. That would be peeping.
She can look in my window. I mean, would you get upset if she was looking in your window? Okay, right there.
Those eyes, though, those eyes right there.
I was just about to say, those are the
crazy eyes.
The only the bad thing about her looking in your window is that what's the bad thing about her looking in your window, Ron?
Crazy eyes? I don't know.
This is obvious. If she's looking in your window, she knows where you live.
Oh, yeah.
Which you don't want that. I mean, if she's... Yeah, those are the crazy eyes. We really just are truly stupid. Anyway, back to the... you think people back in... Of course they were. Well, you go way back in the Bible, and men are stupid in the Bible, too. Men have been stupid for a very, 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 very long time. So this is... going back to Egypt and the ancients, if you will, this is from Uncharted X's YouTube account. These vases are amazeballs, and they don't. Let's see. Let me find the one where they are measuring, because they should not have been able to make these vases. They are so well done. They can't even do them like this today. They've tried. This is from Uncharted X. So this is
It's time to revisit the vase project, as over the last 12 months, quite a lot has happened. The TLDR of it is, many more vases have been scanned, including vases in museums. Those scans have been analysed and the results are very revealing. So there are these ancient vessels that come from Egypt. They range in size from small to quite large. They're dated generally from pre-dynastic times right up into the Old Kingdom, essentially before and during the very early parts of the ancient Egyptian civilization. As a broad generalization, they're frankly incredible. Typically made from very hard stone, granite, diorite, porphyry, the list goes on, and many of them have remarkable attributes, incredible symmetry, delicate wall thickness, and overall quite an amazingly high level of manufacturing. Turns out one of these granite vases had finally been analysed with modern technology. Adam Young had it scanned using structured light, accurate down to under a thousandth of an inch.
Think about that. How the hell did they 2,000, 5,000, 10, 20, whatever, hell, 500 years ago. I'll even give you 200 years ago. How would you have made something like that accurate to within a thousandth of an inch without modern measuring tools and technology?
Difficult at best.
Exactly. I mean, even when you get down to the handles, I don't think they're called handles, but whatever they're called, little ears. Even down to the fact that those ears, those handles on that vase are perfectly aligned laterally. I mean, just everything. And how would you do that? If you're going to turn that on a lathe, how do you do the handles?
Good question. Yeah.
I mean, you can't. And the wall thickness. So anyway, the bottom line is this, is that we have no idea how long these people have been around. We have no idea really what's underneath the pyramids. We have no idea what's underneath the Sphinx. I guess somebody probably does. But for the most part, the rest of us, we don't know. It will be nice, and I hope Jeffy's not right when he says that, when the people who did this, the study and released the information about, what was underneath the pyramid, said that they would release more information I think it was 9 or 10 days. And Jeffy's like, well, when 9 or 10 days is? April Fool's Day. But you'd never, if Project Unity did that, they would never live it down. Wouldn't happen. Yeah. Wouldn't happen. All right. In just a second, Dan Andros will join us from FaithWire and CBN News. And something about the Snow White movie, I hadn't thought about this, but it's over on the front page of FaithWire, and it really makes sense and goes along with the rest of, the whole Hollywood stuff. And one of the reasons, and quite frankly, at this point, it's just fun to dog on Snow White. Mainly because you have a hard time understanding and believing that people in charge of multi-million dollar or billion dollar projects and or companies can be this absolutely stupid. But they can be. And we'll do it next on the Daily Mojo.
If you're offended, you're listening wrong. The Daily Mojo.
Over in the Daily Mojo chat room, the accuracy isn't the interesting. Fake Zo says the accuracy isn't the interesting part. A dude can make a clay pot perfect. How do you mold granite? That's the real question. Well, no, the accuracy is. That is the interesting part. The fact that they do this, you can't get the that sort of accuracy with modern tools. So, is Dan with us yet?
He's been with us. Yeah, I messaged you.
I didn't see it.
And now, the moral center of the Daily Mojo, Dan Andros.
Well, hi, Dan Andros. How are you? I like your...
Hey.
Is that a do-rag or a hat?
Oh. It's a hat. Just backward.
Okay. What's it say? I can't see. Oh, Redskins.
Let me know if my microphone's
you
too
racist.
loud. I know.
No, you're good.
I know. How dare I want to
racist
include...
pig.
How dare I want to include Native Americans in culture and society? How hateful of me! I want to keep their memory alive. These progressives want to delete them. We can't talk about them. We can't talk about them. Now all the Native Americans, they're like, yeah. They're like, we won, everybody, and now no one in the NFL ever talks about Native Americans again. They just go back to the. They go back to the what do they call the things? The places they live on?
Reservations.
The reservation. They're back to the reservation, and
you mean
like,
houses?
Gosh, we had it so good.
They
were all talking about us.
And now they're gone. I hadn't thought about this. I know you're in. I know you have a time constraint this morning. I appreciate you making the time for this program.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I saw this over at Faithwire. Billy did the headline caught my eye because it has become a pastime to jab Snow White. But I hadn't thought about this. The headline being Disney ditched the gospel-based message in the remake of Snow White, according to Greg Laurie. Are you familiar with the story? I'm springing it on you.
We talked a little bit out. Let me see his exact quote because we were talking a little bit. I know of all the shenanigans she said, and we were kind of laughing about that on the podcast because, she goes in there and just starts wrecking the thing, and it's like you're Disney at this point, and people are on high alert at this point for your wokeness, right? Like, why would you even risk? Saying anything, because the movie could be great, and just because this idiot went out there and said the guys, we don't need to fantasize about romance, and she's not going to be saved by some prince. She shouldn't need to be saved. Like, oh gosh,
I know the whole
just insufferable.
The paragraph that caught my eye. The preacher said the 19th century story is about good versus evil, centering on a vain queen so obsessed with her own beauty and status she's willing to murder an innocent girl just to remain the fairest. Which, again, lessons like that in the Bible.
Yes, for sure.
And
yeah, I mean,
do you
pride
think
goes before the fall,
do you think
right?
they did that
one
intentionally?
Of the biggest lessons in
Big time. Ask Ron about that. Do you think that they did this intentionally, or was this just a consequence of them being woke and stupid?
I think it's got to be the latter. I mean, I just don't understand how you can possibly want to take an absolute American classic and do this to it. Like, why? It's just like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Dumbfounding.
We don't make your own story. If you want to make a princess who is wokety woke, a woke cess, I don't know, and she's out there and she's woken it up all over the place, then go ahead. Woke to your little heart's content, okay? And see if anybody gives a flying hoot about it. But instead, you're trying to hijack these classics so that people will watch your dumb wokeness. And nobody wants it. Nobody wants it. And
it's
if there's some that
mind-boggling.
do want it, it's like you're limiting your audience. Like, why would you do it? It just, at some point, how many hundreds of millions of dollars can you lose before because this thing costs, I think, almost a quarter of $1 billion to create, and they made like 40 million in the early going here, and it's not good. Not tracking well for them. You're going to lose probably hundreds of millions. Lose hundreds of millions of dollars. I mean, it doesn't get better from there, right? Like, that's, most movies don't surge after the opening weekend. I mean, some might stay around. Like,
some do,
but you're not going to make back. Some do, but
to be fair,
it would have to be really good, right? Like, the movie would have to be good, and then nobody knew about it at the beginning, and then everyone's like, "Oh, this is great. We're all going to see it now." And then it sticks around. Like, but that's not going to happen here. No one's saying that. Everyone's going, oh, that's the woke chick. Even just like Snow White.
The
right? Like,
amazing thing.
Like, why is it called Snow White? What? Do you know what? Do you know the name?
Skin
I mean,
fair
it's Snow White.
Snow skin. Yes.
It was white as snow. Her skin is white as snow, and that's why they call her Snow White. And you want to make this about minority. I saw on ABC. I mean, imagine if they did this in the reverse. Just play that game in your head as we go through this. Like, but on Good Morning America, they interviewed her, and she's like walking back. This is after she's been a disaster. And now she's like, oh, it's a classic. I'm so happy to be doing this. And they had all these little Snow White princesses in the crowd. I don't know if you saw this. Every single one of them was either Hispanic or black. And I'm just like, no, I don't care if it's a mix of people, right? Whatever. But every one of them. Oh, there wasn't one white kid in there. It's Snow White. Now, imagine if you did this in the reverse and there was some character that was, a black or Hispanic character. I'm drawing a blank on one in my head. And then they just went around and they said, you know what? We're
Moana.
tired of that old fable. Let's just make it Moana. And it's just like, we're just going to bring all the white kids out and just whitewash that thing.
Here are this is the segment on Good Morning America here. And that was the first thing I thought was I get trying to be representative, but it just gets to they've as they usually do, they've taken it to such an extreme that it just becomes a parody of itself. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's just and she gushed over the movie and the original and how wonderful it was, and this completely 180 degrees off of everything she had said about it up until this point. Right. To the point where this almost looked like a parody.
All right. Like she's mocking her own past view. I mean, she's saying that the guy was a stalker, and that the movie was weird, and that and they're also taking for the little people out there, there's only so many opportunities you get for acting jobs, right? And here's one where you've got 7. It's 7 opportunities for the little people to get in there and get a job. And I think they took it away. I think they made it like, pirates or
Dinklage
something.
did.
Like they were bandits.
They're
in the new remake
creatures.
Here.
Yes.
Yeah. So
no.
Way to go.
They finally did make them little people, but they did all CGI as opposed to having actors. And the reviews have been brutal on this thing. I mean, not very many people have gone to see it. I am just constantly amazed at how they can make such bad decisions when that much money is involved. I don't know what was in their brain, what they thought they were going to accomplish with this. It makes no sense.
I really think there are people who hate Western life so much. They hate capitalism. They hate money, and they don't understand that in order to have an influence and have a sway over culture, that you have to be successful. Okay, and so you have to they just are all about this dumb DEI nonsense. And they can't help themselves. They just cannot help themselves. And they're like, well, we have this Disney and it's our responsibility to do this. You're going to drive it into the ground. I mean, you're taking an institution here that's almost impossible to drive into the ground, right? Like, it's just been such a classic. It's such a mainstay in American culture. But they're doing their darndest.
Yes.
They're doing their darndest. Like, let's lose $100 million of film here. At some point, you're just not going to be able to do it if you keep doing this. And, I think Star Wars maybe have kind of learned the lesson, because I like Star Wars and it's my guilty pleasure. And I you can see I got Mando behind me there. And so I like some of the series and I tolerate the occasional nonsense, like even on Skeleton Crew, which I enjoyed Skeleton Crew a lot. It was really good. Jude Law was great. It was like Goonies for Star Wars land. It was really fun. But of course, they have to make one of the parents of the lost kids have to be lesbians, and it's a very minor thing. They but it's like, but why? Like, why do you have to do it? It's just, they can't help themselves. Like, can you just stop?
Does nothing to move the plot forward. I know you're up against the wall. So tell me
nothing. Yeah, I gotta go.
What's happening on the Quick Start podcast?
What's up? What do we got? We're talking about. We had an interview with the astronaut who was stuck up there for 286 days. The guy, his name is his nickname is Butch, and he has big guy of faith. And we went out there and got their first church service back here on Earth, which is crazy after being up there for so long. And we got a bunch of other stuff too, Jenny Allen and more. So.
You got it. All right, you be here a long time. You go now. Go. There he is, Dan Andros.
Hey, guys.
Bye, Dan. See you, buddy.
Get rid of him.
We'll
He's gone. From CBN and FaithWire and the Quick Start podcast. And I just, the dinging you heard on his phone was me sending him the trailer to Tiptoes.
Oh, nice.
with Gary Oldman from yesterday.
In the role of a lifetime.
The role of a lifetime. That to me is just, I don't
know. I thought The Fifth Element was the role of a lifetime for him, but that's just me.
I started watching The Fifth Element the other day. I don't think I've ever seen it.
Or Batman.
Which is
Wasn't
weird.
He in Batman? Yeah, he was Commissioner Gordon. Am I right?
Yeah. Okay. He was also in, and I get there's two of them, right? There's Gary Oldman and there's Gary Oldham, right? Yeah, there's Gary. No, I swear I thought there was a Gary Oldham also.
No.
But he played. He also played Dracula.
Okay.
Oldham. I swear there was a Gary Oldham. Was his name always Oldman?
Oldman. Mm-hmm.
Then here's the weird thing. If you Google Gary Oldham, Oldham,
yeah,
you get a bunch of people. Like I just saw True Romance with Christian Slater, Rosanna Arquette, and Gary Oldham. Why is there? Is it like an alternate timeline I've slipped into?
I don't know. Maybe they meant Gary Oldman. Was he in that movie?
But there is a Gary Oldham. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Now you've got.
You're the one tracking all of this, not me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were there to help.
Never
mind.
I am. I've got a girl pilot. She's a hottie.
She is a hottie. And I'm glad you brought her up because what was I saying about Gary Oldman?
Yeah, I don't remember. Wasn't important.
Huh. All right. Play your hottie pilot.
Yeah, this is, we were talking about hotties, and I told Brad, I said, I got a hottie pilot.
Tower.
You might recognize her.
And then once we have over to tower, we're going to make sure that we put our backup frequency.
Because I'm a pilot, I follow all of these. She just happens to be
our next frequency that they're going to transfer over to. All right, so we're going to go to 1259 on our other frequency.
She's going over to get her friends.
Because such a big aircraft, the Amazon Prime took off, and so we don't want to be in their wake turbulence. So we're waiting 2 minutes. Yeah, they're like, Leah's like, no, sorry, girl.
So
I'm like,
she's
honestly, I respect it because we've talked about like,
she's fully
or I was going to come
clothed
down
there.
to go dress shopping with Leah, and then that's like, can we take the plane? I'm like,
pot
no.
her down a little bit. She won't shut her mouth, will she? But in some cases, that's okay. Because like when she ran out onto the field naked, well, almost naked, semi-naked in 2019. Yeah, it's funny you can see
for Vitali.
That was his girlfriend.
Yep.
He sends her out there.
Her name is Kinsey Wolanski. Yep. She is a pilot, and I didn't know this about her. I didn't know she was the Vitali streaker back when she was 22 years old, I think. She's 28 now, but she was the
this
girlfriend.
Isn't that long ago. This is 2019, which, it's only 6 years ago.
She was she was the girlfriend of Vitali, whatever his last name is, and of course, he was a big influencer at the time. Yeah. Vitali Zabrovitsky. And so he got her to run out on the field. Yeah.
And so did she have to drop the pounds to become a pilot?
I don't know if she had to drop the pounds to become a pilot, but she lost her job and went to jail and did all this other stuff because of this. And so when she got out, she decided she'd become a pilot. She's actually a
pilot?
Sports reporter now somewhere. Yeah.
With a record.
Yeah.
Is that a misdemeanor or is that a felony? If
I'm sure it was a misdemeanor.
And she wasn't even naked.
No.
You say you're sure it was a misdemeanor. You don't know that.
I don't know that. No.
It could be. I mean, they make some stuff that stupid as a felony.
Yeah.
I mean, for instance, dude, Vitaly himself. Oh, damn it. Hold on a minute. Got to do that. It reappears. Like Vitaly, when he ran out on the field there, in that right there, the Super Bowl streaker, that's Yuri Andrade, that should be a felony.
Wearing that?
For a
yes.
guy, for a guy to go, yes, for a guy to walk out there with that unitard or whatever the hell that is, that should be a felony. I mean, because no one wants to see that. Nobody.
I think his YouTube channel was Vitaly Uncensored, but he was a pretty big influencer, and she has become one herself. After she ran out on the field, she went from 350,000 followers on Instagram to over 2 million overnight.
And has she? I mean, Mom, Dad, guess what? You know how many followers I have now on what was it, Instagram?
Yeah. She owns her own plane now, so she can fly it around. She flies back and forth from Las Vegas to L.A.
Isn't this a horrible lesson to be teaching our youths?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, she got famous, you know, running. No, she's not even naked. I mean, that's the weird thing.
Yeah.
She's running around with just a sponsorship. What do you call that thing? Because it's not.
It's almost really like a unitard. I mean, it's kind of, it's pretty high cut.
It looks uncomfortable to me, but that's just me. But I mean, you do this, you run out there half naked, mostly naked, onto a field, and you become popular. You get arrested for speeding a couple of times the same day. Then what was the other thing that the Chicky Poo was doing? She was peandering, sprying. What the hell was she doing?
Oh, loitering.
The other chick.
Loitering and prowling.
Yeah, but prowling.
Yeah.
I still don't know what prowling is. I mean, I know what a prowler is.
Well, that's what a prowler does. They're prowling.
They prowl? So you're saying she was ready to steal something?
Maybe.
Steal my heart. I stole that from the other dude. But you have that. You have the tarantula tosser, who has now been officially invited onto the program because we welcome all types and kinds here on the Daily Mojo. That's why we've invited her, isn't it?
Yeah,
exactly. She's going to surprise you. I'm telling you. But isn't that a bad sign? Like you go naked onto a football or a soccer field or whatever, and you are rewarded with people following you. You are rewarded. I don't know what she did to get the money to buy her own plane.
Well, yeah, no, there's no question. I mean, there's no answer to that I can give you. I don't know what she did to get her own plane, but she has her own plane.
But you're willing.
She
to
was a helicopter.
What she did, and
she was a helicopter pilot.
To do what she did.
She flew helicopters for 5 years, and then decided she couldn't afford her own helicopter because they're expensive. So she bought a small plane. She said the helicopters run $500,000 to $1 million just for small ones. And so she went and bought this plane, which was I forget what it is, but it's a low wing plane. She bought it for $100,000, $120,000. And then leases it back to the school where she took her flying lessons. So they fly it and basically pay her fee, which you can do, by the way.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is she's doing something nice for humanity.
That's what she says.
At the same time.
Yeah.
And that's what we try to do.
She's a lot more laid back and a lot
Mojo.
more thin than she was back in 2019. But
why do you have to keep bringing up her weight?
Well, you brought it up earlier. She lost some lbs, didn't she? Is that what you said?
she did drop some poundage.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to go up in a plane like that. You don't.
But she films almost all of her flights, and it's pretty cool to watch.
And good for her.
Yeah.
Good for her. And again, if she was ugly and went streaking out onto a field, would she have gotten the attention? How many ugly streakers have there really been? Stop and think about it.
I don't know about ugly streakers. Ugly protesters, yeah.
Oh, there sure are a lot. You know what? All the ugly people, they're not streaking. They're out there keying cars.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're blowing up Teslas. They're setting them on fire. They're doing those are the ugly ones. I think we need more passive. I say passive, and you bring up the Zoom room?
Up the Zoom room. Yeah. Except John, He's not passive. He's working the hell out of that joystick.
He is working that joystick.
And El Nando, there's Whiskey. Whiskey driving the truck today. Looks like Timmy's driving the truck. We had a few more in there before now, but now we've just got those 4.
Oh, it's because of the end of the program.
Yeah, I guess.
But I mean, again, please, kids, don't emulate the people in the Zoom room. That is not that is not what it takes to listen to your parents. Stay in school. Don't do drugs. That's about the best. Shy Boy in Iowa said, my favorite Snow White is the one in Shrek. I had to go look her up. And she kind of got a little snarky attitude there on her. Right? I mean, and is she Snow White? I mean, is she white as snow?
Not really.
No, but the voice of Snow White in that case, Amy Poehler, who is about as white gets. Right?
Yes.
That's pretty white. So at least they stayed true to that. But other than that, again, the Snow White could have been a hottie. Ended up putting Zegler in there, who, if the pie hole ain't just blah, 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 all over the place, is reasonably attractive. But another prime example of an attractive human being opening said pie hole and sucking off so many points from the tally that it's almost comical at this point. Other than that, everybody does love a hottie.
What do you mean it's last call?
I do.
That there, 2 hours of audio deliciousness, hotties, and other inflammatory statements, but I meant in an informational sense. Inflammatory statements. Known as the Daily MoJo for today, Tuesday, the 25th day, T-2, the year of our Lord, 2025. And did anybody live or learn a damn thing during the course of the program? Dr. Free Range Prisoner Gary Oldman was indeed in True Romance. He played White. Aha! Ethnically confused with a drug dealer pimp.
Drexel
Spivey.
Spivey.
Who's Gary Oldman?
I don't know.
What the hell is Gary? That is so bizarre. Let's see here. Rock Tower drunk. Thank you, Squish, for the starfish thing, because that really, boy. Whiskey, you see, Real Brad Staggs and Real Ron Phillips, the difference between you two and me is y'all spread your DNA digitally. I spread mine manually. So he takes it to each of the DNA services and actually hands it to them?
Hands it to him.
Is that how he does it? Well, good. I mean, you know what? That's called exercise. Over in the Daily MoJo chat room, the fifth, Patrick G., the Fifth Element, very underrated, especially for the special effects at the time. Yeah, I saw a YouTube video on the special effects of The Fifth Element, and I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen that movie. And I started watching. I haven't finished it yet, but I need to do that. Twisters, by the way.
Multipass.
Multipass what?
That's what she says. Multipass.
Who?
Mila Jovovich. Multipass.
Oh.
Come on, dude.
I
You've seen the movie.
Jovovich. Okay. I haven't seen the movie. Jovovich. Isn't it Jovovich? Is it
probably
Jovovich or Jovovich?
Jovovich.
Okay. Fake Zoe. So did that shotty get arrested too?
No, she was just a hot pilot. She was just a hottie.
Oh. Well, no, she did get arrested.
Well,
for the
she did
streaking.
earlier. Yeah, that's true.
Well, you're trying to wipe her record
I'm
clean.
not trying to
Man,
wipe
you will
her
do
record.
anything for a pretty face, aren't you? Deb Treadway says, have a great rest of your Taco Tuesday. Stay thirsty and hot, y'all. Yes? Okay. Sir Red Bastard over in the Rumble chat room. God bless this nation and its citizens. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you, Father. Indeed. And Missy 13, have a great day. All I learned, I love y'all. That's because we're lovable.
We are.
Yep. And don't you ever forget it, or there's a spanking in your future, too. Right, Ron?
Yes.
Right. Remember that we the people must hang together, otherwise we shall surely hang separately. Sic Sepulturanus, Sir Bad Bastard. And good night, Doc Thompson.
Wherever you are. See you tomorrow at Hump Day.
Watch and listen at thedailymojo.com.